Hello everyone, so welcome to the McGraw Hill Connect chemistry homework system as part of your McGraw Hill textbook. This is basically where you're going to be submitting all the homework assignments that we'll be assigning, and then you'll also be doing your reading quizzes through here. Now, reading quizzes, also known as Learn Smart, are on a different video. So that video is within the playlist. So it's like Learn Smart / reading quizzes. In this video, I'm going to go and talk about the homework. There's only two things on Connect that you have to worry about, and that is reading quizzes or homework. So in this video, I'm going to go and talk about the homework. So this is basically the home screen for the student. Obviously, mine looks a little different because it says my name is the instructor, which is not entirely true. I am not your instructor, but I am a preceptor. You won't obviously see these buttons either. You will not have instructor view. However, for me, mine looks a little different just because of that. I have a couple more privileges than you do because you're a student and I'm not. So you see that there is a Learn Smart assignment assigned and there is a due date for it. So you see the due date and you can just do it whenever you want. For homeworks, however, same thing. You see homeworks assigned and there are due dates. The only difference between these is that you have attempts actually here. For Learn Smart, there's a reason why there are technically no multiple attempts, and you'll know why when you watch the video. For homeworks, though, you have 2 attempts for every homework assignment. Basically, the reason why we do that is because if you do it the first time, you might make a mistake, you might misclick something. Sometimes the way you put in your answers the first time, it might not go very well. But you think you know the answer, you just didn't type it in correctly. That's fine. That happens. Mistakes happen all the time. So instead, we give you 2 attempts. The first attempt is not always going to be the scored attempt. Whichever one that we'll take the one that's the highest scored. So let's say attempt 1 you get like a 60%, but you want to go for 100. Great, I encourage you to do that. Let's take the second attempt. Second attempt you get a 95. Perfect, not 100%, but okay, good. You got a 95%. Well done. At that point, we'll take the 95%. We won't even care about the low score you got for the first attempt. That won't matter. So we don't do averages. We do we do the highest score. If you notice here, there are 2 homework assignments. There are 2 homeworks assigned, homework 1 and homework 2. Weirdly enough, homework 2 is just about to be due. Actually, now it's past due. You see that before it gets past due, even when it's super close to being due, it'll be highlighted yellow with orange text, and that's just indicating to you that, hey, I'm due really soon, so why don't you do me first? So that's why it's being highlighted. We're gonna go and let this one go. We're gonna go start homework 1. So when you click on a homework, this dialog will pop up, just giving you a verification of what you're opening, because once you open it, you're within that 1 attempt. Now these aren't times, so it's fine if you accidentally open the wrong homework. It's cool. You won't get penalized, but just know that you are still that homework is still considered open. The due date, just verify that you understand the due date. You understand that you are 2 out of 2 attempts still available, and then you can click go to start the homework. At that point, another thing will open, and your homework has begun, basically. So you see question 1, you know the number of points per question. You can verify that, you are looking at homework 1. And this green bar at the top may not exist for you guys because I'm using a student preview, not really because I have instructor access again, so that's why. But you can toggle the questions with the arrow buttons. That's easy enough, self-explanatory. However, let's say you want to go from question 1 to question 6. You're jumping around. You can actually click on this dialog, just click there, and then just scroll down to question 6, and you just go to question 6. So you can do whatever you want, basically. You have the freedom of moving about within the homework. Again, it's not timed, so don't feel pressured to do the homework. The only time you have is within the time of the due date. So if you're past due, you won't get scored for it. It'll be late, basically. At this point, we're just going to go ahead and have right at it. I'm just guessing, just for the sake of showing you how the homework is done. Some of them have drop boxes, just like I had. Some of these are just select one of the 2. And then, so basically, sorry, I'm stuttering a little bit. It's cold. To submit an answer, you just select an answer and then just move on. So you can't deselect an answer, but don't worry. If you want to change your answer, you obviously can. It won't be submitted when you move on to the next question. Clearly, you are free to move back and forth. I've done that a few times. And answering and getting a question wrong versus getting it not answered. It's not like the SAT, basically. SAT, it's like the whole, like, you get a penalty for answering incorrectly versus no penalty for just not answering. Like the guessing penalty, we don't have that here. If you want to answer it, answer it. If you don't want to answer it, that's your own prerogative. But I encourage you to answer it because you like, obviously, you might as well try to answer it. Like this one, you have a 50% chance of answering it. If you don't answer it, you're guaranteeing yourself a 0. So just answer it. Anyway, so moving on to the third question. Let's say that I don't know how to do this one. Let's just pretend like I have no idea. And I want to just see the answer. I don't want to try it again. I just want to see the answer and just get it over with. Then you can click on the solutions button. First off, I click the hints button, and it'll tell you like a hint on how to do the problem. Return to the question, try it out. If you think that there is a typo in the problem or there's something wrong with this particular problem itself, you can actually click the report problem, and you'll be this other dialog box will open, and you'll be sending a report to the Worldwide Test Bank. These people they'll work with whatever situation you have. Like, so don't report you got the answer wrong. They don't care. They care if the question is worded incorrectly or the wrong answer is the correct answer. Generally, we check every answer before we assign that question to you, so this won't happen. But let's say you just don't like how this question's worded or written, you can report that problem. That is your right to do that. But if you just want to see the answer, click on solution. Do know that you are giving up all attempts on that question. You will no longer have ability to do that. Whether or not those buttons actually exist will be up to Dr. Van Dorn. So you might not see the solution or guided solution button. That's okay. If you don't see them, then sorry, you can't give up. You have to actually try. I wouldn't actually want to give up, but this is basically you saying I surrender to chemistry. Don't do that. Chemistry is not all that bad. But if you do want to surrender, fine. You just click the OK button and it'll tell you the answer. Guided solution, same thing, except this one will actually teach you how to get the correct answer. Basically, it's like us as preceptors. We would try to word the question around, or we would try to ask you multiple questions to see if you can actually figure out the question yourself. This is basically like your automated guide. Like this is like an automated preceptor for you, except the human preceptors, us, we won't give you a 0. These people will actually just give you no credit. And as you see here, no credit. So if I keep going, I'm just going to answer one more question and then I'm going to go. I'm going to finish this. Okay, let's go with compound, element. Is that even right? I think so. Okay, let's go with that. I might have just guessed. Who knows? When you go to submit your answers, when you're done with the homework, you click on the submit button up on the top corner. Now, let's say that you have a situation where, okay, you want to take a nap. Your head hurts. You want to take a nap. That's fine. Chemistry does that to people, where they're kind of sleepy and they want to like try again when they're wide awake. You can save and exit. So it'll save your progress and you can just go sleep or do whatever, go shower, freshen up, and then come back and continue the homework. Once you're absolutely done and you are sure you're done, you can submit it for grading. If you've accidentally skipped a problem, that happens sometimes. You press the arrow button twice and then you accidentally skipped a question. It'll tell you, and you can just go back to that question, and it'll, you can answer that question. In this case, I'm done. I don't want to do any more, so I'll submit anyway, and you will actually get the score right there. You will not see any solutions. Those will not be available to you until after the due date. It'll be like 1 hour after the due date. You'll be able to see all the solutions, but until then, you won't see solutions. That way, you're not really supposed to know what you got wrong for the homework. When you do the second attempt, you just know that you got this score. So basically, I got 27.5%. Don't worry about the percents too much. I would focus more on the number of points you lost, because points are what we care about. We don't do like the high school method of grading where we work on percents. We work on points. So if the class is out of 650 points, basically, I mean that'd be kind of weird having homework being 100 points. But like, I'm just saying, like, this homework assignment was 100 points. You only got 27.5. That's a giant point difference versus an 80% with it being 5 points and you got only 4 points. That's only 1 point. So basically at that point, you can determine whether or not you want to do a second attempt or whether or not you should go panic and call mom and freak out. In this case, you're fine. in this situation, I would personally do a second attempt, and you can do that by returning to the assignment list and then starting over. Okay, this is the instructor view. So basically that's for a normal homework. You see it still says attempts remaining because I'm doing a simulated student view. For you, it will change. You will have a score and it will change to attempts remaining 1. So do know that this is being weird just because I'm not in an actual class. I'm just simulating homework for you. So homework 2, it's past due. I can still do it, but it's past due. So what'll happen is actually what'll happen is when you click to open it, it'll just take you to the actual questions. However, these look a little strange. Yeah, so you'll probably be able to do it, but once you have no attempts remaining, like let's say if you've forgotten a homework assignment, like which has happened, you'll be able to still do it, but you won't get any credit for it. And then what'll happen is if you have completed all the attempts, then you'll actually be given the solutions. This one doesn't show the solutions because, again, it being a weird student assignment preview, I can preview the assignment, but the solutions for some reason don't really work too well. But Dr. Van Dorn will have that correctly configured so that you will be able to see the questions afterwards, or the answers afterwards. Do also note that when we assign homework, if the solutions are not available after a certain homework, we will assign a separate homework assignment with the exact. So you'll have you'll have a homework 1, and then you have like an additional homework 1 down here, but that one won't be for a grade. It'll be an ungraded assignment. It's simply for you to practice, because after the homeworks are done, you can't go back and like work at it again. But we'll assign more homeworks for you so that way you can go back and say, well, homework 1 I didn't do very well, so I'm going to open up the homework 1 practice down here, and then you can see all the questions, all the pooled questions, so basically all the questions that your friends got, you'll see all of those questions basically, and you'll be able to do all of them. You won't get a grade, but it's good for practice. So that's the homework assignment. That's basically homework assignments. Next video is on Learn Smart, so I would go ahead and check that out. If you have any more questions, if you have any questions actually, go ahead and put them in the comments below. You're free to ask me, Dr. Van Dorn, any of the preceptors. I would try asking the preceptors first, because if we can answer it, it's less time wasted from Dr. Van Dorn, basically. But yeah, you're free to ask us in class or anything like that. You're free to actually go to Dr. Van Dorn's office hours if you want and like ask her about various questions. We'll answer questions too, and that sort. So that's homework. Thank you guys for your attention. You guys have a great day.